What's up, guys? This is Alex Bertson again. I'm doing another video on the Michael teachings. This video is about the modes in Michael teachings, which is an overleaf. And if you don't know what Michael teachings is, it's a channeled body of knowledge which talks about soul's characteristics, our reincarnational cycle, and the different lessons we're learning along the way, our goals in life, and our things like our global job, and a bunch of different personality characteristics that we can take on for each life. So if you don't know anything about Michael teachings, I would suggest to go see my video about the roles. That's the primary thing in the Michael teachings to know about. In that video, I do an overview of all the different characteristics in Michael teachings too, showing how each of the roles are aligned with all the different characteristics. But today I'm talking about the modes, and it's an overleaf, which is a characteristic that you take on for just one life. In Michael teachings, there's essence and overleaves. Essence is the stuff in your chart that stays the same for your whole reincarnational cycle. And that's all these different configurations in terms of your role energies that you have chosen. But the overleaves are the characteristics just for this life, and the modes are about how you release your energy. So I'll go over each of the different modes. Let's do the next slide. So these are the modes. There's 7 of them, just like all the other characteristics in your Michael chart. There's 7. Each one of these aligns with the different roles. There's 4 axes for each of the characteristics. 2 of them are on the inspiration axis, that's reserve and passion. 2 on the expression axis, that's caution and power. 2 on the action axis, which is perseverance and aggression. And 1 on the assimilation axis, which is observation. So that's all the modes. You can also list these modes by from the most ordinal to the most cardinal. And what that means is the ones that are the most ordinal are more like they have one-to-one connections with people usually, but they're more with the modes. It's more self-karmic than creating new karma upon other people. So the most ordinal ones, which would start with reserve and then caution and perseverance, those ones are more self-karmic and more introverted in nature. Number 4, observation, is in the middle. It's the neutral one. And 5, 6, and 7 are the exalted or cardinal modes, which create new karma in their interactions with other people. So the different roles gravitate towards these different modes in different ways. The roles that are the most ordinal, which are server, artisan, and warrior, they like the more ordinal modes: reserve, caution, perseverance. And the more cardinal roles, like sage, priest, and king, they like power, passion, and aggression, which are more exalted modes. So that's the overview of all the modes. I'll now describe each of them in detail. So first we have reserve mode, which aligns with the server, and it's on the inspiration axis and is the ordinal mode. With this mode, you basically draw your energy inward and upward in a contained manner. It's often seen in figure skaters, martial arts, ballet, and other disciplines where the motion of the body is contained or focused. So people with this mode really control their energy and keep it inside, and they just release it a little bit at a time. Very controlled in how they go about it. In the positive pole, and in Michael teachings, they have positive pole and negative pole. Positive pole, it deals when you're expressing through love the higher things, and the negative pole is when you're functioning through fear. So the positive pole for reserve is restraint, where you're graceful, elegant, disciplined, and refined. The negative pole is inhibition, where you're blocked, cut off from emotion, withdrawn, reserved, and withheld. So that's the first mode. The next mode is passion, which is also on the inspiration axis, but it's the more cardinal or exalted mode. It aligns with the priest energy. And this is the opposite of reserve. So instead of holding your energy inward, you release your energy boundlessly downward and outward. It's characterized by a great intensity of feeling or movement, lifting them to ever higher levels of inspiration and creativity. So this really helps with the priest naturally because this is the natural overleaf for priests. But artisans can really benefit from passion mode too for their creativity. People in passion mode need to follow and find their passions. That's how they activate their energy. So the positive pole for passion mode is self-actualization, which is heightened awareness, being involved, and intensely alive. The negative pole is identification, where you're overly involved, invested, and boundaryless. With the negative pole, you can be too identified with things in your surroundings or that you're associated with. Like you could be identified with your car. If your car gets damaged, then you feel like you got damaged. That's kind of what they're saying with the identification or boundarylessness is what can happen in the negative pole. So that's passion mode. Next one is caution mode, which is the ordinal expression mode. It aligns with the artisan. It's a natural overleaf of the artisan. And with this mode, you release your energy carefully. There could be a fear of doing something wrong. You'd be careful about the consequences of your actions, self-deprecating, and conservative. It's a more introverted mode. It directs attention inward, and it's more self-karmic than karmic. In the positive pole, it's deliberation, where you're proceeding carefully, taking time, avoiding risks or dangers. The negative pole is phobia, irrationally fearful, superstitious, stuck, unable to decide, and there's endless deliberation of possibilities. So the positive pole, you're moving forward carefully, and the negative pole is getting kind of stuck in place and not able to move forward. A lot of people choose this mode, actually. This is the second most common mode. It's like 20% of the population. And I'll show you a chart at the end showing the percentage of each mode in the population. But I think this is chosen a lot because people can have very reckless lives in their past lives. And so for this life, they're learning how to be a little bit more cautious and careful with their actions so they don't make as many mistakes. So that's what caution mode is about. The next mode is power mode, which is the cardinal or exalted expression axis mode. And with this one, you release your energy strongly. There's an outgoing sense of confidence and authority. It's a natural mode for leadership and public recognition. So this one stands out a lot. People really notice people who are in power mode. It's kind of like when people have the goal of dominance. It's the same kind of like leadership and authority that comes along with it naturally. In the positive pole, it's authority. They're confident and they have a commanding presence. In the negative pole, it's oppression, where you're threatening, pushy, and bullying. So that's power mode. It aligns with the sage energy. So that's power. The next one is perseverance, which is the ordinal action axis mode. And with this one, you release your energy steadfastly. You stick to something resolutely, hang in there with challenges that you might otherwise give up on if you didn't have perseverance mode. The positive pole is persistence, where you're disciplined, you have staying power, stick-to-itiveness, and you're enduring. In the negative pole, it's immutability, where you're fixed, unchanging, stuck, repetitive, unwilling to change, and become blind to the bigger picture. This kind of expresses itself like the obstacle of stubbornness, except it has nothing to do with like a fear of change, which is what stubbornness is about. But you just stick with something for a while until you get through whatever you're working on. So that's perseverance mode. Then there's aggression mode, which is the the other action axis mode, the cardinal or exalted one. And with this one, you release your energy vigorously. Someone with aggression mode will assert themselves constantly, approach others directly, both verbally and physically, and will be very outspoken. This mode can frighten or intimidate others, causing them to move away because there's so much energy coming out, and they can handle a lot of different things at once because it's very action oriented. It's the most exalted of the modes, and it lines with the king. And the positive pole is dynamism, where you're adventurous, risk-taking, and assertive. The negative pole is belligerence, where you're assaultive, destructive, and attacking. So that's aggression mode. The last mode is the neutral axis or assimilation axis mode, which is observation. With this mode, you release your energy neutrally. You approach goals in life by watching and noticing what is going on around you. So it's just observing, taking in things that you're observing around you in your environment. It's the most common one. It's like 50% of the population, and I'll show you that chart in a second, showing how many people, what the percentages of each mode in the population. But it's the most common one because with this one, with the neutral axis mode, you can slide to any of the other modes whenever you want. So you can kind of sample all the different modes pretty easily. So that's why it's such a common one. The positive pole is clarity, where you're aware, alert, and insightful. The negative pole is surveillance, where you're spying, scrutinizing, and watching for possible danger. So that's all the modes. This is the modes by percentage of the population. And like I was saying, observation mode is the most common one because you can slide to any of the other modes with that mode being your default. The next biggest one is caution, like I mentioned, at 20%. After that, it's passion and power at 10% each. Then there's perseverance and aggression at 4% each. And the least common one is reserve, which is 2%. So that's all the modes in the Michael teachings. If you haven't gotten your chart channeled yet, your Michael chart, to see what characteristics you have in your overleaves and your essence, I'd recommend going to Shepard Hoodwin's site and ordering a chart. He's really great at doing channeling of the Michael charts. His website is shepardhoodwin.com/order, which is his order page. It's spelled SHEPHERDHOODWIN.com. At some point in the future, I'll start doing my own channeling. I have plans to do that. So in the meantime, I would just really refer to Shepard. I've been buying a lot of charts from him. So that's it, guys. I'm going to be doing some more Michael teachings videos coming up. So stay tuned for that. If you like this stuff, please like the video and subscribe. I'll also have a lot more stuff with Vedic astrology and some human design stuff that I'll do. Probably do some more profiles of celebrities coming up too. But right now I'm focusing on getting all the Michael teachings videos out there because I haven't seen too many people talking about all the different characteristics in the Michael teachings on YouTube. So that's why I'm doing these. So that's it, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.